Hello everybody, welcome back to Mira TV. As always, I'm your host Ulysses here, and I'm here with a few of my friends that I've grown up with for quite a bit of my life. As you guys saw, it is OYSL, which is Orange Juice Soccer League Referee and Soccer Edition. We got some pretty cool faces here, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Here to my right.
All right, well, my name is Richard Rivera. I'm the part owner of Orange Juice Soccer League. We've been running since 1992. Other than that, right now, just getting ready since we're starting our games April 17th, this Saturday and Sunday. Now, we can talk about more about the league with these questions that you got here.
Of course. And then to my other right over there.
My name is Youngster. My name is Andres Medina. I currently ref at OYSL. I've been playing in the leagues ever since I was little. I got into it and eventually started reffing with Ricky here.
Okay, so yeah, we got a soccer player and a referee at that league.
Yeah, and then I'm a Rodrigo. I used to ref Medina back in the day. If, anybody that knows Medina's dad is like, Medina!
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah, it is. Kind of the same thing with Medina. I grew up playing soccer in Santa Ana. I played OYSL growing up too. And then I just started going back. One day I started going with my uncle. My uncle was reffing there. And I kind of just tagged along, and Ricky's dad, Nacho, was there.
He was the main recruiter, that's why.
Hey, Nacho, if you guys looking for a job, as long as you have like the character to talk to Nacho, he'll set you straight. But he told me, he's like, hey, you've been coming with your uncle a few times already. Why don't you just try it out? And I remember I was nervous.
Now, Nacho and Maria are the ones that founded Orange Juice Soccer League. That's what Rodrigo
is referring to.
Nacho.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys already know who I am, I'm actually been a referee myself for about half of my life, going on 15 years in August. Probably the longest reigning of the bunch.
Yeah, you.
But
he left me, bro.
I know. I mean, he gave me my first job.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I started reffing when I was about 12 and a half years old, and it's been quite the experience. And trust me, when we get to the questions, it has taught me a lot. I'll tell you that. And from a referee aspect, a player aspect, and just an outside aspect as well. Like we mentioned, he is part owner of Orange Juice Soccer League, so give us a little brief history of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
the league started in 1992. Quick story on how the league started. I was probably first, second grader in elementary, New Hope Elementary there in Santa Ana. My dad would pick me up after school, see me playing with a couple guys, and he just was a professional soccer player in Mexico, and he kind of got the idea, like, I should start something, here locally, because I don't see a lot of leagues. This is in 1992, mind you. And he just started telling me to, start. He wanted to form a team at first. Then I got a couple kids. We would play against each other, and that was that. Then he got the idea of, saying, you know what? I'm going to recruit dads. So we had probably about 20, 30 kids that he recruited off of the same school, and probably 3-4 dads that were interested in, coaching. Or what he would do is he would see a dad and say, hey, you know what? Help me out. So they started off as assistants. They saw that they liked it, and went from there. The league, I would say, went from the 2 teams that we started to 4 to 8, 16, 20, and before the pandemic started, we were probably at about between 100, 120 teams. But yeah, my dad got that idea because he used to work for the Boy Scouts. So he had a lot of, he knew pretty much what to do. I remember going to Fitz Falcons Intermediate there in Santa Ana off of New Hope and McFadden when I was like 9-ish, first, second grade. We would go there. Before, the goals you know how the goals are now. Before we would have to like dig holes.
Yeah.
The porterias were just, they were all together. I don't know.
Already there.
They were already there, so
A
we
long
were there
time ago.
Friday nights, digging the holes and stuff like that, and then putting up, and then the lines, they would be with cal.
Yeah.
So he would get a paint, like a paint can, poke holes into that paint can,
Yeah.
and then get like a piece of wood, tape it, and then just start shaking it out. So
I've seen that a lot of some people still do that.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different places that still do that.
Yeah, so that's how pretty much it started, and luckily we're still here. And I get a lot of people saying like, you know, hey, I played in your league, and now they're having kids, like my generation.
Yeah.
I run into people my age, and we're like, dude, remember we used to play each other?
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago.
And I mean, just thinking back at that, I'm like, I feel like when I first started playing, there was just so much talent. There was so much.
Well, every generation says that though.
It's true. No, it's true though.
Every generation
You go back
like
to my,
this.
you go back to my generation that's a little older,
Yeah.
and I think there was so much talent because we had a lot of ex-professional soccer players around my age.
Of course.
We had Michael Orozco, David Arvizu. I mean, he was in the U.S. national team.
Yeah.
I mean, I can name more guys that.
We were fortunate to have Luis Gil. We had Marky
Yeah,
Hernandez.
that's
We have had Ami. We've had Ronaldo that played with Arsenal that are now with the now that the USL and like all these other places. All these MLS, USL that have came up. It's like a lot of these players came from Orange Youth.
And
Frankie Amaya,
Oh, that's Frankie Amaya is the latest one draft pick of the MLS. I'm very proud of him. He's a laid back kid. Saw him probably about before the pandemic.
Yeah.
In Tustin, what's that field called? The one that we played in Tustin. The one that had the Olympic. Well, it doesn't matter. It was in Tustin, and I happened to see him, and I told him, I was talking to him and told him that, hey, congratulations, you're doing good. And he seemed just so focused, you immediately knew that he was it wasn't just gonna be the typical fluke where you play one game and then that's it. No, he's different. He's a different type of talent. Definitely.
He always has been. I feel like, and I'm bringing up his height because a lot of people saw like his height's not gonna, and he has seen himself as an underdog, and he carries it like he's the baddest guy.
Well, that's unfortunately right here in the U.S. Everybody just wants tall, big,
Well, with Joshua, I remember Joshua Jalisco. He would play with like
older
Division One, and he was like the smallest kid on the field, but his focus is different.
There's a lot of good players, and every generation says the same thing. And my generation was better. Every generation's
the latest generation, I feel like, is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because club is gonna try to take all these players that started off in these leagues.
Grassroots.
And I was a grassroots, and a lot of these players were grassroots to your guys' league. But you guys I feel like sometimes that's where you have to start at your Orange Youth Soccer League or like a other league like that because that's where you learn how to be tough. That's where you learn how to be.
You know what the worst part is these club teams sometimes don't let you come back. Oh, you're gonna get hurt, but then they forgot where they recruited these guys.
Exactly, and where they began.
It's just I don't see it. I don't see they became good based off of whoever had them at that time, and when they go to these clubs, they polish them. And that's what they do.
Yeah.
But I think if you want to be tough, scrappy, and stuff like that, you sometimes gotta get down and dirty and play in what they call, and I hate this term. I hate it. It's probably my biggest pet peeve. They call us La Liga Domingueras.
Sunday League.
Yeah, that's where the talent's at, bro.
No, it's not because I feel that when they go La Liga Dominguera or the Sunday League or lo que sea, they kind of talk down the way they say it.
Yeah, like quality.
Yeah.
Quality-wise, and that's how I take it. I'm like, no, we're not just your typical Sunday League. It's I feel we have better structure. it's not just me. It's there's 5-6 other people behind me that make it good, and I think that's what a lot of people have issues with. It's like I want to do it all. I can take care of it. It's no. You need Medina. You need Rodrigo. You need you as
you need to be organized.
To keep you
that's what sets you apart a lot too. It's like if you're not organized, people are gonna tell, and they're gonna tell quick.
And they're gonna end up going to different leagues.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I've always said, and I'm sure we've played in many leagues, and not to discredit other leagues, because it takes a lot to make a league, and kudos to everyone. But at the same time,
yes,
you always have to have integrity of the sport, and it goes back to coaches, to even and it's like, how do you allow a 15-year-old to play with a group of 13-year-olds, and I'm just like,
that's crazy.
A lot of, yes, one day in the future when they're in high school, they'll start playing older kids, and when they get older, but at that time, it's part of the learning process. You're learning still how to play, your mechanics, your polishing, and then this is where we fall in as the referees. But the thing is, the integrity that I feel like being a part of Orange Youth has made me is, it doesn't just keep integrity as being a referee and making sure these kids are who they are and not playing with older kids. Is them telling us, hey, I don't care if there's only 7 players. We have, and I'm sure he can agree that if the team's constantly doing it, well, that team shouldn't deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. And other teams would be easily happy to take your spot.
Well, you say that about the 7 players and stuff like that, and that's how we come up with every rule that we have. Is we don't just make it up. It's through experiences, coaches, complaining about certain things. Let's say, for example, Medina's team is the last team to qualify, and then when playoffs comes, they bench those 8-9 players or 7 players, whatever, and they bring all their so-called best players or whatever,
club players.
All
of a sudden.
Yeah. No, I'm not discrediting club players, because that's. But I don't think it's fair that you take out the kids that have been with you the whole time to put in players that are only going to be there for just certain games, because when we go back to the regular season, those guys are just going to go back to their other teams. And what happens with other players that were there for the season, they don't want to come back, and that's where we came up with the rule of this 51% rule, where you have to play 51% of your games the moment you're registering. And those are little things that we come up with thanks to the coaches that bring it to us.
It's true. Like, why show up the last 3 games of the season and then, or 2 games, and it's like, well, we didn't play against this squad, and all of a sudden, because just imagine a team barely having to make the playoffs, and then next thing you know, they're like, they win it, they win it all. It makes everyone question, like, wait, this team was all the way at the bottom.
It's funny how you say that 51%, because whenever I think,
that's tough for us. Dude.
No, whenever it's hard. Yeah, and I know what you mean. Like some kids, they play on a bunch of different teams, so they can't make it sometimes. But whenever you said that 51%, I thought of Hugo. And I know you know who Hugo is. Remember Seattle Sanders?
Huguito,
bro. Oh, that kid, he never missed a game. He was always hard working. To this day, but I haven't seen Hugo in a while. But I mean, he's probably grown up now too.
Probably 12
years old.
Lucy.
I started repping Hugo when he was on that U16.
Lucy's still there.
So, what do you think has kept the league going?
I think
in almost 30 years.
What's kept the league going? I think the backbone of the league is my mom, Rosita. She's so organized.
She is.
I mean, you guys deal with it.
That's true.
Hey, for those of you guys who don't know, I don't have the best handwriting. Your mom told me once.
Beautiful writing too.
Your mom told me once. She's like, Rodrigo and from Reportes, like, I can't read it. Your dad will call me during the week on a Tuesday. Like, hey, what'd you write?
They take it serious, And I think she's the backbone of the league, because one thing is she's so organized, and that's helped me be a little organized on my end of the
kind of pick in a way, not to discredit, but pick up the baby slack that.
Yeah, definitely, because I learned so much from her and my dad. you know, throughout. And I think they're pretty much the reason why OYSL is still here, because we're still using what they've taught us. And my business partner, Richard, we've sprinkled in our little
Touches
here and there to make it even better. And hopefully it's better, because not everybody, you know, you can't satisfy everything with the business. It doesn't matter what you do. It can be this. You're not going to keep everybody happy, and that's one thing that's hard to understand, because you want to keep everybody happy, because everybody's a customer.
Yeah.
You know. And
But what I have seen is, like, even the newer teams that have joined the league, like, they've been with us for. I mean, I've been repping there since I was like 15, so it's been a few years now. But they've been with us, even like the newer teams, like 2-3 years. They don't just have one age group now; they have like 1, 2, 3.
That's definitely.
And it's I mean, I've been repping there for a while. Now it's kind of just like family. All the coaches, you kind of know them because you've seen them.
Yeah.
You see them every weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's come to a point where it's like, you want to come to the barbecue? You get invited with these coaches. You're like, I wish I could, but then
We're trying.
next thing you know, we're gonna get we're gonna get another.
No. Say no, because then they'll
Yes.
Yeah,
start assuming.
hey,
Yeah.
te invitaron barbecue, te invitaron una cerveza or whatever and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
They sometimes, maybe you do it good, but it's the other person on the outside from the other team thinking, oh, that's why he marked that, or that's why he did that. But, you know.
So you've kept it going, but where do you want it to be? Because I feel like it's not. It's a new generation. You know, every 10 years it's different.
Right now, it's just kind of hard to see where it can go, because, dude, we haven't played in over a year and 3 months, I believe, since COVID hit.
Yeah.
We're literally just starting this week on the 17th, 18th to register, and then people tell us, because we're doing free registrations.
Yeah.
People kind of go like, well, free registration, what's the catch? You know, it's like, well, there is no catch. No, there has to be a catch. You know, sometimes. People, I've heard people say, if it's too good to be true, it must be, you know, bullshit or whatever.
Yeah.
But for us, it's like, we're investing in the kids, you know. We want to see everybody come back, because at the end of the day, if the kids don't come back, there's no soccer league, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're doing. We're
it's like
investing in the kids,
you know. Like,
yeah,
thank you for
definitely.
coming back, and you know,
definitely.
the crazy year it's been.
And you have to understand, because we were at our peak just before COVID. And we understand that we're going to have maybe half, a little more than the teams coming back. But eventually, if you work hard, it's kind of like the stock market. When it goes down, it goes down. But eventually, it's just going to go back up. And then that's going to be us, and it's going to be stronger than ever, man.
I've seen it through the years, too. I remember when I started working, it was like, hey, Rodrigo, I need, like, 1 or 2 games out of you this weekend, and next thing you know, it's like, hey, bro, I need you here Saturday, Sunday, the whole day. I was tired, man. I was like 16 working all day.
Yeah, I know, and that's how it is.
That's how it was, especially like in the beginning of the season. You know, it's like,
dude, that's when it's busy.
Yeah, and you can't take that stuff for granted, because sometimes they're up here, and then next thing you know, what happened, COVID, you're down, and then that's why you have to always be grateful. You always have to have a plan B. You just can't think just because you're doing good at a certain time in your life, that means you can just kind of relax. No, that's when you have to try even harder, because people, like, they trust you. So that's when you kind of have to use that momentum to keep on going up, because there's other people that just want to catch up to you, you know, and if you don't do anything about it, they're going to eventually catch up and then surpass you. And then that's one thing that we can't allow happen. We want to be number one, bro.
That's true.
Yeah.
Number one in OC. Glad to be.
I've seen that schedule. It's been 2 pages on one day. It's crazy, dude.
Especially on Sundays. Sundays, man.
Yeah.
One field will have like 6 games.
And that's one thing. If it's not what did we say in the referee meeting? We had a referee meeting because we're starting back. We want to make sure everybody's ready. But without you guys, you know, without the soccer refs, without coaches and stuff like that, I mean, shoot. Like I told you guys, there wouldn't be in any league, and that's why I'm like so grateful that we have such a good team. You know, not only you guys, the coaches are. I mean, I remember when I was younger, the coaches used to always want to like fight, or you get the occasional,
Yeah, hard-headed ones.
parent that gets
Yeah.
a little upset. But I think this time around, I think the parents have calmed down a bit.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Plus, I mean, we got Medina in the center, so he's an enforcer. You know what to do.
For the next 5 years, do we expect any branching out with like tournaments? I mean, growing up, I've never really seen, maybe one or two tournaments.
Next
You know?
tournaments. So that's one thing, is we work so hard like all week, and Saturdays and Sundays we're at the fields and stuff like that. People always ask us, why don't you guys have tournaments? This
Like
and
a holiday tournament.
that. It doesn't matter. People's like, you can make money, do this and that, but at the end of the day, money's just paper. I'd rather be with my family. We never. I don't know when was the last time we even had a tournament. I use those holiday weekends to spend time with my family, do something with them.
That's true.
So that's why to us, I don't know, maybe now that COVID, we can do some tournaments, but at the end of the day, I like it when it's a holiday weekend because we don't play,
Yeah.
and I get to be with my kids and my wife, and do stuff with them.
Plus, you guys are up early.
Yeah.
You guys are up